Hi, this is Senior Cadillac Sales Director Mary Grunholz from Lake Mills, Wisconsin, and I am so glad you pushed the button to watch this video because that means that you're interested in more results from your business. And so what I want to share with you in the next several minutes is a 21-day challenge that will give you some business results, perhaps big business results, with just 10 calls per day. Now, I stumbled upon this, so this is not my own original idea, and it actually comes from another direct selling company. And so I just wanted to make this video so that I could train the consultants in my unit on how to use this system to get some great results. I got so excited about it that I enlisted 3 consultants in my unit to do it with me so that I could really teach you this from practice and experience instead of just theory. And so I just want to share this idea because I am so excited about a system that gives you some great results. And I don't know if you know the statistics, but let me just give you these statistics. These are sales statistics. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and then they stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and then they stop. And only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts to a potential customer. Now, listen to this. 2% of all sales are made on the first contact. 2%. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. And 10% of all sales are made on the fourth contact, and 80%, this is staggering, are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. And if you're like me, and I've got to be really truthful and honest, I give up. You make up a story. You might say something like, well, I don't want to nag them. I don't want to bug someone. I don't want to obligate anyone. We make up a story that we've asked them too many times. And so we don't even make the first contact, or this, we might give up after the second contact. If 48% of people give up with a prospect after the first contact, only 25% of people make the second contact, we're missing out on a lot of sales. And so in this situation, a sale is actually anything we do in our Mary Kay business. We're always selling people to schedule time with us to do a makeover. We're selling them to hear about the opportunity. We're selling them to come and be a guest at the meeting. So it's always selling in this respect is booking. So we're always booking in Mary Kay. So what we're going to be talking about in this system is a tried and true method of tracking out your calls with a color-coded system with words to say. They're actually, if you just click on the link below or the little triangle below, you'll be able to see the scripts to say that make this very doable. So what the first thing you want to do when we're working this system is you want to get ready and set. It requires a little bit of prep training. What I want to encourage you to do is get an accountability partner. What we've been doing in our unit is we've created very small Voxer groups with 3 or 4 consultants that are cheering each other on, and then that are starting their 21-day challenge at about the same time, because then you can work out the kinks together, but most importantly, you can cheer each other on. The next thing you want to do is to make a commitment to doing 21 days of 10 calls per day. Now, personally, I am doing it 21 consecutive days, and there are other gals in my Voxer group and in my unit that are doing it in 21 consecutive days. But you could go 6 days in a row and then take a day off, or you could go 5 days in a row and take 2 days off. But you have to know what you're committing to, but you want it to be 21 days of 10 calls per day to improve your business and to see some results. Now, you might want to be holding 1 party a week, 2 parties a week, maybe 2 parties a month. Whatever your commitment, this system is definitely going to support you in seeing results. Okay, now there are a couple tools that you're going to need. First, you're going to need a really good calendar or planner. What we've found in kind of tweaking this is that if you can get a good calendar that has a month at a glance, a big month at a glance, where you're going to put your appointments and things like that, and the weeks, Sunday through every day of the week, has a lot of room to write people's names. Maybe room to write 10 to 12 people's names, 10 to 12 contacts. And personally, I'm developing a planner for myself and my own personal use and gals in my unit, because I really believe that you could use this system with the 4-hour system that's been taught to us by Tammy Craik. So 1 hour you could be making 10 calls of bookings. 1 hour you could be making 10 contacts of coaching. 1 hour you could be doing 10 contacts of selling, customer service work. And then 1 hour you could be making follow-ups on recruit prospects. But if you just want to start the ball rolling with this, with 10 contacts a day for 21 days to get into the habit, you're going to be so excited and jazzed. Let me just tell you a story. One of the gals in my unit has, works a corporate job, has 4 children. She's from here, there, everywhere, and just procrastinated or made stories up about contacting people and really couldn't even make 1 contact a day. And then she'd put it off, and then she'd retell the story in her mind. Well, I just, it's just for someone else. It's not for me. And she got so excited about this system. She is now on day 15 or 16 of her 21 days and is having sales galore, having bookings galore, getting referral names galore, and has team members in the works to be signing up, and has that dream of directorship now seems doable because she has a system for doing it. Okay. So you need that calendar. Let's go back to the things you need. You need a really good calendar with a planner. You need 5 highlighters. And I personally use green, yellow, blue, orange, and pink. And I will explain to you what you use with those. And then you also need an accordion file. An accordion file that has 12 slots for January through December. Now, we've also tweaked it a little bit where consultants in our unit aren't doing the accordion file. They're just making a list. If they move a customer ahead 4 months, they're just making a list for 4 months from now, and they're making a running tally list and keeping it in their planner. So whatever you want to do with the accordion file or the list is really totally up to you. Now, people that you're working with in this system, they stay in the system. Referrals and leads that you're going to be using stay in the system. They only go out of the system if you contact them and they perhaps already have a Mary Kay consultant. So then you're going to take them out of the system, but you are going to promote yourself and perhaps shoot out a text with your contact information and picture. They also come out of the system if you book them. When you book them for an appointment, they come out of the system. And when they flat out say, no, I'm not interested. Now, I just have to tell you, in about 220 calls that I've made, I have only gotten one text message back to me that said, I am not interested. Please stop calling me. They even were nice and put the word please in there. So the stories that we make up are just that. Silly stories. So I want to encourage you to kind of when you're making calls like this, stop making up a story, or make up a story, but make it up a good one. So that if, let's say you call someone and it gets disconnected, you don't automatically go to, oh my gosh, she hung up on me. But you make up a story and give them the benefit of the doubt that perhaps it was in their pocket and they were talking to someone, so they pushed decline. And so that you don't make up a story, if you're going to make up one, make a good one, okay? All right. So the next thing you want to do is remember that you're going to be taking people through six checkpoints. They're going to be getting a message, a voicemail message, and a text. And then a few days later, they're going to get another voicemail message and a text. And then a few days after that, voicemail message and a text. Now, when I first heard this, I thought, oh no, there's absolutely no way I'm contacting someone 6 times in a 9-day period. I'm going to bug them too much. But when you read the scripts, you will read that they are very, very, very nice. They're very much like letting people off the hook, letting people know that I know you're really busy. And so if I don't hear back from you, don't worry. I will follow up again, not to just chase you down, but I'll follow up again in a few days, and then we can connect. So the scripting works. Now, I also want to encourage you that you're not going to see results probably about the first 5 days that you're doing this, because what happens is, people, like the sales statistics show, people don't start calling back until the 5th to the 12th contact. And it's true. And I'm typically in the past by nature a very skeptic. And what I realized is that no, follow this system and see what happens. And magically on the 5th day, the 5th contact, I started to have people returning my calls, returning my texts, saying, "Oh, I didn't mean to ignore you. I just was really, really super busy. I'd love to do that." And then I started seeing more pink dots on my contact system, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then I started to finally connect with those people and get to highlight them in pink, so I got a booking from them. Okay. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is choose your start date. Because if you don't choose a start date, you never start, okay? And then choose the end date. So if you count out 21 days, then you know where your start date is and your end date is. And then the other thing you want to do is pick 2 dates that you'll host your own get together. Because what you want to do when you're working on scheduling these appointments is the person you're talking to, of course, you want them to host a party first. You want them to have some friends over. But if they say, "Oh, I don't want to have friends over," then you've got 2 dates that you're going to host your own. Now, you can either check with the sales meeting that you go to. Perhaps there's a place where you can bring models to that prior to the meeting starting, and then they'll get to be your guest model. Or you can say, I do this in my home on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, which works better for you. Okay. Another suggestion is to diversify your contact types. Now, you're going to be starting this with wanting to have 30 contacts. Now, you may say, "I don't know 30 people." Well, also below is a brainstorming sheet on how to come up with 100 contacts in your life. Think of people in your neighborhood, people that are an acquaintance with you. Maybe you go to church with them. Maybe your kids play on a basketball team together. Maybe you've seen them and you know who they are because they're from your community and you just want to reach out to them. Maybe they're a realtor in town. Maybe they're, own a hair salon. Maybe they work out at the club next to you. Maybe they're kids' friends' moms. Maybe customers who've expressed an interest in the past of getting together. Maybe they're current customers that you haven't seen in a long time and you want to reach out to them. So let me just encourage you that you'll get your success going right away, depending upon who you think of. Because if it's just a cold call or like a cold lead and not someone you have a connection with, then what will happen is you're not going to see the yeses as much as you will as if you know someone. Because Mary Kay always told us, it's a lot easier to build and establish an established customer and work with them than it is to go out and get new leads. And I'm telling you guys, that's what I love about this system, is because we teach so many times how to do a restaurant promotion, and that's a great idea for lead generation. And then, how to warm chatter, and then perhaps how to go put out facial boxes. But if we're consultants in Mary Kay and we're running around feeling like we're always having to do lead generation, always having to do, got to get a new one, we get tired. Now, I will tell you, in my Mary Kay experience, I earned my first car calling people cold out of the phone book. Now, that was years ago before the no call list, and I was willing to do that. But I can guarantee you that I stopped. I did not make the first contact or the second contact. I just made one contact, and I relied on the 2% that I booked on the first contact. So the first 10 people I called, I booked 2. And I never called the people that I didn't hear from, and I didn't keep calling. So I worked a lot harder than using a system like this. That's what I love about this system. Okay, so I encourage you to try to get to get 30 or more contacts. And the reason you're going to start with 30, but then if you have an abundance of 10 to 20 more than that, you're going to always feel like you have someone to pull from, because you are going to constantly be pulling from your referral list. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to have 3 groups of 10 people. And let's just call it Group A, Group B, Group C for kind of ease of training, okay? And you're going to be using a numbered system. So for example, when you look at the scripts below, you're going to see that the scripts for seasoned consultants are printed in green. So we've titled that the G1 script, okay? So, and then the day 2 script and day 2 voicemail and day 2 text is the G2 script. and then the day 3 voicemail and day 3 text is G3. So in front of the person's name on the first day, if you're using the G1 script, you're going to put her name in your planner. You're going to put the G1 in front of her name, and then you're going to use your color coding system to know where you're at in what you're doing. Okay. Now remember this, in the scripts that you're using down below, you are giving them permission to say yes or no. They can certainly text you back with a yes or a no. You just want to know so you don't keep following up with people. Okay, so here is how I use the color coding system. You're going to use the orange marker when you actually have a live conversation with a person that's in your group, okay? And you're going to use the blue one if they respond back to you. So if they text you back and say, "Oh, I'm really busy right now, I'll get back to you," then I just put a little blue dot by their name, and I don't worry about it. I might shoot them a text back and say, "Oh, don't worry, I'll get back to you in a couple days," because they're in your system, okay? And then you're going to be using the green. I use a green dot when I talk about the business, when I'm following up with them about the Mary Kay opportunity. And then I use pink when I actually book them. Now I use a pink dot if they said, "Oh, I'd love to, but we never solidified a date." I draw a line through it in pink when I solidify the date. So it's going to really help you that when you look at your sheet at your planner on the days, you're going to see exactly where people are. Okay, and then after you've done the message for the day, the voicemail message for the day, and the text, then you will put a yellow marker over the G1 or B1 or whichever script you're using for that day. Okay, so let's kind of go back to the beginning. How does this work? How does this system work? So you've got your 3 groups of 10, Group A, Group B, Group C. Group A is, you're going to be calling them on day 1. Okay, so they're all going to probably start with the same, a 1 script, a B1, a G1, an R1, whichever, or an N1, whichever you're using, okay? And then group B, you're going to call on, let's say, Tuesday. So group A you've done on Monday, group B you're doing on Tuesday, and they're also in the first day of the scripting. So they're going to be G1, B1, R1, N1, okay? And then group C is going to be on Wednesday. And they're going to be G1, R1, B1, or N1. Okay. Then on the 4th day, then you're going to go back to Group A, and you're going to look at the people. Perhaps you've already booked some of them. Perhaps some have replied. Don't count on it, though. Okay. But let's say they have, or let's say they replied back and said they're not interested. So they're going to be out of the system. But you take the ones that are still in the system and you move them to day 4 now. So Group A is now on your day 4 of calling, and they're now on the 2nd script. So you can see, and I'll show you a picture. I'll show you a picture here that you'll see that some people, after the first day of calling, you might have people in rotation 2 of the contacts, rotation 3, rotation 1, but you always know where they're at because you've been using your tracking system, okay? So, and you just keep on rotating them through. So Group A, Group B, Group C are on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They get their first message. Then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then you're going to have Group A, Group B, Group C again, but now they're on their 2nd round, okay? Then if you're continuing and calling every day of the week, that's how I've been doing it. Then you're calling Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now you're back to Group A, Group B, Group C. And here's where they're getting the 3rd message and the 3rd text. And the 3rd message and the 3rd text you'll see in all the scripts is kind of like the breakup message. Like, "Hi, Sarah, it's Mary following up one last time regarding the ultimate facial package that was gifted to you. If I don't hear back from you, I'll just assume you're really super busy and I'll follow up with you in a few months." And so you then can take that person, if you don't hear back from them, if they don't reply back that they're not interested and you really want to get together with this person, then you can put their name on a 3x5 card, or on, let's just talk about the way you can do it on a 3x5 card, and you can write lots of notes on it, and then you can pop that into your accordion file for 2 or 3 months down the road. So then come that time of the year, then you just go to that month and you pull out all those people, and now you've got leads to put back in. And guess what? Now they're hearing from you, not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, but now they're hearing your voice and getting a text from you the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And who knows, you guys, you may schedule them on those later calls, okay? So, all right, let me just share with you a couple things that might hold you back as far as feelings. You might go, oh my gosh, I'm really hounding people. But remember, you're just making 6 and done. And I told you my results that only 1 out of over 200 plus calls and messages replied and said, I'm not interested, please stop calling me. You might find procrastination, and that's important to have your accountability buddies. Grab a few so that you can cheer each other on. What I found in the Voxer group is even on days when someone doesn't want to do it, the other people in the Voxer group are cheering them on and saying, no, you can do this. Okay, another thought that you might have is that I don't have enough time for this. I'm here to tell you that the consultant in my unit who has the 4 kids, works a corporate job, who probably I could have believed that she didn't have enough time. She's finding time. She's prepared. Her business is portable, so she can take it with her. So she's found ways to go to her son's basketball game and quick in the car before she's gone into the gymnasium and the school. She's made her quick calls. And then at halftime is when she does her texts. And her husband has noticed how excited she is about this system, and he's never seen her this committed to making this happen. Okay. The other thing, you might be a little nervous, like saying the scripts at first. I would practice saying them, write them down, read them out loud until they become part of your vocabulary. And I'm telling you, by the 4th day or the 2nd day, you're already used to saying it, and you're almost shocked when they actually answer the phone. Because nowadays people just don't answer the phone as much. So can be very shocking. And the other thing I want you to realize is that because you're committed, you'll make the calls happen. Because you've said, I'm doing 21 calls, 21 days in a row of 10 calls per day. Because you've said that and are committed to doing it, you're not going to fall off on day 16 because you're starting to see results. And the thing I want to leave you with is, how much business have you lost because you haven't had a system of follow-up and you haven't had a system that works? And I'm just telling you that this system works. So I've even found it to work for customer service work. In the past, I might have given someone a sample and then I never move them ahead in my date book and write what I'm following up with. And so that's why I'm creating the planner for customer service and selling too, and team building and follow-up. Because even in team building follow-up, how many consultants sign their Mary Kay agreement? They sign it after, 5 to 7 layers. And we give up because we're thinking we're hounding her too much. So we've got to find a way that works. And I'm convinced, and I'm excited about this system, that it will work to add bookings, add sales, add team members, and add excitement in your business, because you can wake up every single day and know who you're going to call, what you're going to say, what script you're on, and just watch the system work. It makes it very doable, and you're going to absolutely love it. And just to give you some results, one of the gals in my unit who was pretty much, she would probably tell you that she's very, scattered and disorganized. She got so excited about this, and just last week alone, she had over a $600 sales week, added 7 new bookings using this system, and she had 3 career chats. She's got 1 person that is thinking of signing this month yet, and it all is a result of doing the 21-day challenge. So are you in? Are you committed? After listening to this, do you see how this could really positively impact the results that you can get in your Mary Kay business? I sure hope so. God bless you on your 21-day challenge.